Hey everybody, welcome to the John DeVito Show. And as always, we've got a lot going on in this country. And I don't know about all of you, but I am tired of the double talk. I am tired of the unfulfilled promises. I am tired of the politicians that never do what they say they're going to do. Now, tonight, we're going to talk about Speaker Johnson. I'm not sure how everyone's feeling about him right now, but in my opinion, the Speaker of the House is just another traitor. The Speaker of the House is just another member of the Uniparty. The Speaker of the House was brought in to ensure that the American people were being listened to. And he was brought in to make sure that he was representing the voice of the Republican right, the people on the right, and those who are terrified of the direction that our country is currently going in. So, Speaker Johnson, what are you doing? I mean, honestly, what are you doing? We have again more threats of a government shutdown. And we've got Speaker Mike Johnson, who is now Speaker of the House. He has power in the chamber. Think of Nancy Pelosi, that drunken fool from California, who brags about the wrap-up smear on the internet. If you don't know what that is, Google it. The wrap-up smear. That's how they basically smear situations as Democrats that are in the media and things like that to basically destroy people. But when you think of Pelosi, Pelosi gets what she wants. I despise the woman. I think she's an evil person. There is nothing redeeming about that woman in my eyes. She is repulsive, and I can't imagine how anyone could possibly vote for her. But her crazy base on the left, she delivers what she preaches. She goes out and does what she wants to do, and she gets it. She draws a line in the sand, and she makes sure that the platform of the extreme left is carried out. Now, with Johnson, people say that he is part of the extreme party on the right. I mean, what's extreme? What's extreme about what we're saying right now? I mean, for some reason, we talked about this the other night. Make America Great Again is now an extremist thought process. The fact that we want a great country, the fact that we have respect for the United States of America, the fact that we have American pride is something we should be ashamed of. That's what the left is telling us now. And one of the big things we want the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to do is to close the border down at Mexico and the border on the south. As we've talked about time and time again, we've had 15 million people come into the country under dementia Joe Biden and camel toe Harris. They have literally destroyed, or they're destroying our country and what our country represents. America is about immigrants, but legal immigrants, people that take the appropriate steps, the appropriate measures into becoming legal citizens. My grandparents, as I've said, came into Ellis Island. They never took a dime from anybody. They were legal migrants. The people that are coming in over the southern border today are illegal aliens. There is a difference. One method is legal, the other method is illegal. And there's no debating about that whatsoever. So what the people on the right have a problem with are the Democrats allowing 15 million people into this country over the border. We don't know who they are. We don't know what type of people they are. And we've used the example in the past that even if let's even say 14.8 million of those 15 million people are wonderful, law-abiding citizens that are going to join our society and become Americans and work jobs and pay taxes. Phenomenal. How about the other 200,000? What are those people? Are they drug dealers, sex traffickers, criminals, felons, murderers, terrorists? We don't know who those people are that are coming into our country. And now these people that are coming into our country are taking precedent over the American people. Did you see what just happened in New York today? In New York, there were protests at a school in the Bronx where a high school, has been shut down. The students are being told they must study remotely, and the school is being taken over by migrants. So the migrants, these illegal people in our country, are going into the school to live, to sleep, to eat, shower, whatever. And the students have now been removed from their school to house these illegal aliens. So our citizens are taking a back seat. These illegal aliens are coming in, they get $2,200 a month, they're getting a cell phone, they're getting a place to stay. You have hotels that are putting them up. They're all over Massachusetts right now. You have them everywhere. So someone that breaks the law and comes into this country, we don't know who they are, they're illegal, they come in, they get money, they get a phone, they get a place to live. How about the veterans? How about the men and women that have fought for our country? Many of those who fought in war and have PTSD, other physical ailments, other mental ailments that came along with their time in battle, a lot of these people are homeless on the streets. So we are letting the people that fought for the freedom of our country to live on the streets, but we're letting illegal aliens from other countries come into our country and get free everything. Let that thing sink in for a minute. Really think about that and think about what that means. The United States of America, we have hundreds of years of soldiers that have fought to give us freedom. They have fought to give us freedom. Starting way back in the Revolutionary War, we fought against England. We fought tyrants. We fought a tyrannical government. Then our founding fathers wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence to make sure that future generations would be able to preserve their freedom when, not if, but when a tyrannical government returned to try to take us over. And what's happening right now? We are seeing exactly that. We are seeing a tyrannical, treasonous government that is taking away our rights, that is taking away our freedom of speech. They want to take our guns. They have operatives that have gone into all the major cities. We have people like World Economic Forum, global leaders like Michelle Wu as mayor of Boston. This is an all-out attack, and the invasion at the southern border is part of that. It's part of it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Great Reset. Now, we've been talking about this for years on this podcast. I've had people tell me I was crazy. Friends of mine that talk about this have told us we are crazy. But we have done the research. We've seen the whole plan from Soros and Schwab and the World Economic Forum, the plan for one world government, living in 15-minute cities, the big electric push in Boston. That's all part of the World Economic Forum platform. And you don't have to believe me. Do your research. Look up Klaus Schwab. Look up George Soros. Look up the World Economic Forum. You can find videos of their meetings where they talk blatantly about what their plan is for the world and the United States of America. Bill Gates is on board. All of our elite, wealthy leaders, not all, but most of them, are involved with this plan. There are a few that are not. You look at Trump. That is why there has been an onslaught against him like we've never seen over the last decade. They are out to destroy that man, and I hope to God, and I pray to God, that they do not end up ending Donald Trump. I worry about it a lot because this evil that we are facing is as tyrannical as Hitler's evil in Germany. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, you need to become educated on what's going on. Now, to loop back to what we were talking about, Speaker Mike Johnson. He came in. McCarthy was kicked out of office for being a traitor. Now we've got Speaker Mike Johnson. And the difficult thing is, like, people out there don't understand when you have people like me talking about Democrats all the time. We're talking about the far left and how they're extremists. The problem we also have are with the rhino Republicans that are in office that are also intent on destroying this country. There are many of them. At one point in my life, I was a Mitt Romney fan. Mitt Romney is dead to me. At one point, I was a fan of Ron DeSantis. I love DeSantis. He stabbed Trump in the back. He looks like he is one of the operatives, one of the operative rhinos that is also working as part of this uniparty. I don't believe we have two separate parties anymore. We have the uniparty, which is the extremist left, most of the Democrats, not all, but most of the Democrats, and a lot of the more liberal Republicans. You've got the right-wing people, the Trumpsters, the MAGA people, those crazy lunatics who love their country and want freedom. How dare we even beg to stand up for that? Who are we to say that we deserve freedom in the United States of America, right? Make America Great Again is now considered to be like hate speech because we want to stand for the national anthem with our hand over our heart. We don't want to kneel for it because we don't burn flags, right? Because we believe in the freedom of speech, the freedom to bear arms. And there's a reason why our founding fathers put the right to bear arms in the Constitution. It had nothing to do with going duck hunting. It had nothing to do with going deer hunting. I love it when I hear left-wing wingnuts talk about how, well, you don't need an AR-15 to go deer hunting. No shit, you don't need an AR-15 to go deer hunting. The reason why we have the Second Amendment in order to have ammunition, in order to have firearms, it's not to go duck hunting. It is to protect our freedom and ensure that we have the capability of fighting back against the traitorous and treasonous government. The men that wrote the Constitution are not outdated. They're not old. What they were a bunch of men that had just gotten done liberating a nation. And they knew what it would take to keep a nation free and liberated. And they also knew that someday we would be under attack again like we are right now. So, man, I'm a little fired up tonight. Sorry about that. But this is just, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And Speaker Johnson, here's another guy that they brought into the speaker role. And he's talking about, again, he's being tough. He told Joe Biden to close the border. You know what, Johnson? It's not enough to tell Dementia Joe to close the border because, number one, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know what he ate for breakfast. He's not a person that is really responsible for closing the border. It's Obama, the true president behind the scenes, who's pulling the puppet strings. It's Soros, it's Schwab, it's the elite. They're the ones that have the border open to infiltrate our country with new voters, with people that will change the demographics of the country and will ensure that the Democrats may not have to cheat forever because if they can bring on all these new Democratic voters, then Republicans will never win anyway, and we will be dead. And when that happens, the guns will be gone. And when that happens, our freedom will be a story from the past. Someday, you will be a great-grandparent, whatever. Your kid might be a grandparent talking about the time in their lives when they were little, when we actually had freedom in the United States of America. That's what we're up against, people. Right now, this election with Donald Trump is the biggest election in my lifetime. I am 56 years old. It is by far, I have never experienced anything like this in my life. And for the younger people out there, I am sorry you're living through this because this is not the way this country was 20, 30, 40 years ago. It was not like it is today. And until we start having people on the left, people on the right, the moderately thinking people, the people that aren't brainwashed, uniting together, we are going to be under attack. And unless we stand up, we are going to lose everything that is great about the United States of America. And remember what I said, I always say this in these type of podcasts. I do not advocate violence. I do not believe in violence. That's what the left does. The left, they go low all the time. What the right needs to do, we need to stay high, but demand change. And if we don't get these clowns in office changing the way we need to, then some of us need to step up and start running for office and changing this damn country. Because right now, that's what the enemy's doing. They're putting their operatives in Boston. They're putting them in New York. They're putting them in Chicago. They just took over St. Paul, Minnesota. They're taking over different places across the country. San Francisco, Portland. The operatives are all in place. They're all in place. And what we are seeing is a hostile attempt to take over our country. They're using wokeism. They're using DEI. They're using everything they can to keep the people of the United States of America back on their heels and afraid to speak up. It is time that we all speak up because if we do not speak up, the United States of America will cease to exist. Mark my words. We need Trump in office. You can hate him. You can think he's crass. You can think he's a scumbag. You can think whatever you want about Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump is the only one that showed us the swamp. Donald Trump is the only one, like I've said before, that's pulled back the curtain and allowed us to see the wizard. Trump is the one that did that. And right now, he is under assault because he dares speak out against the overlords. And you know who these overlords are? They're all on Epstein's Island raping children. These are the people that want to rule us. The people that go to Epstein's Island, rape underage children, and supposedly, from what I've read, in some cases, sacrifice babies, sacrifice children, and inject their blood into their bodies to get the adrenochrome high. So, what we're dealing with, if you listen to my podcast on the families of the Illuminati, the 13 families of the bloodline, most of those families, Rothschild, Onassis, Collins, on and on and on, all of them, Kennedy, they all have Satanist ties deep into their family. So what we are up against right now is the true battle of good versus evil. And I've got to say, Speaker Mike Johnson, get off your ass, close the damn border, and if they don't close the damn border, you let the budget fail. You let the budget fail, you shut down our government, and you tell the Democrats that until we close the damn border, our government stays shut. That is what a true Speaker of the House needs to do. That is what a patriotic Speaker of the House needs to do. That is what one of our founding fathers would have done in that same scenario. But Speaker Johnson is either in on it with the Democrats and part of the Uniparty, or he is a coward and does not have the intestinal fortitude to do the job he was put into place to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to really start analyzing the problems. We need to close this border, and we need to do everything within our power legally to make sure that Donald Trump is elected president, because I really believe this could be our last stand. It really is. What we've had in freedom in this country will go away. When the guns are gone and they've taken away your freedom, you'll be wearing a mask all the damn time. You'll be going in places when they tell you can go. You're going to be working where they tell you to work. If that's the life you want, great. But I feel it's my duty, as I'm in the back nine of my life, to speak up and let people out there that are younger know that at one time, this country was a different place. It was a place where we were all proud to be Americans. We were proud of an America that was great, that everyone looked up to. And it was not a country of racism. Everyone assumes that the 70s, 80s, 90s were horrible times. They weren't. They weren't. We got along. People didn't talk about certain things that maybe everyone talks about today, but we got along. And we have seen nothing but our government trying to divide and conquer us over the last decade, 2 decades. The United States of America is a wonderful country, and it stands for freedom, and that does not exist many places in this world. And if it disappears from the United States of America, that's it. Stick a fork in it, it's done. So America, we have an important year coming up, and you need to start shouting from the rooftops. You need to start speaking up on social media. When you're talking to a friend, you need to try to convince them that what's happening in this country right now is an issue that's important for all of us to unite, and use your platforms effectively, because we really need to. The left is out to get us, and they fight dirty. So we need to start standing up, or everything that we hold dear will be gone. I love all of you. Thank you for tuning in to me. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I was a little fired up tonight. Didn't expect that. This one kind of hit me, and I just went with it. So, but I really, as you can tell, feel pretty passionate about this. So we really all need to wake up and start thinking about what we can do to save our country. I love all of you. Thank you for tuning into the John DeVito Show. I hope that you get something from these shows. As I've said, I'm sitting in my car right now with a phone and headphones. You know, I'm not a professional. I am a regular guy, a regular person like the rest of you, just talking about the things I feel that are important. I'm not getting paid. No one owns me. I speak what I feel is the truth. And I do believe that we need to unite as one in this country before it's too late. So I love all of you. Thank you for tuning into the John DeVito Show. and have a wonderful day.